I
All
would
right.
be in that as long as it was written by Randy Newman.
Yes.
Randy Newman. Yeah, that's it.
Randy Newman is the best person to possibly do Bugs Life. And I would know because he did what is it? Short people got. Aaron, what is that? I'm just gonna have you play it. Why am I acting like I'm gonna do?
Oh, hold on,
Short people got nobody. I love
Sorry,
Randy
Aaron,
Newman.
didn't mean to
No,
cut
no,
you off
you
there.
good. Hey, can you
Great
hear me?
podcast starter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have mentioned that I started recording, and that is the perfect way for me to start it. Speaking of Short People by Randy Newman, first of all, I guess I should start this show. I'm running on 5 seasons of a stupid podcast. You'd think that I would get the gist of how to run this thing, but it's been a mess for all 5 seasons. So, hi, I guess this is the Colonelcast or something. I don't know what in God's name I'm going to do with this. I'm Ian Harper. I'm some schmuck, and I am joined by much more talented musicians. I have my friend Aaron Tagliaboschi.
Hello.
Radka Kasperkova.
Bonjour.
Jesus, we're going to do this for the whole thing. Gregg Pagano. And Ken Easton.
I'm medicated.
And that's about as well as I thought that would go. I guess the point of this was originally going to be to talk about only therapy and the songs that you guys are on with it, which we might get to at some point, but really, who cares? Like, I wanted to put an album out, but I don't care if anyone listens to it. I don't know if you can tell from the fact that I did 0 promotion whatsoever for the first time in my life, and it felt better. But on to talk about what everybody actually wants to talk about today. Short People by Randy Newman. There was a short period of time where I was inexplicably, as a freshman, in the WKU jazz program in the advanced band, despite the fact that I should not have been. I played a gig that the director was in and then used that as an excuse to put myself in it, and I shouldn't have been there. Aaron was in it as well and should have been there. And every single day, we somehow, in between songs, broke into Short People by Randy Newman. And I'm surprised that I made it the full semester without getting thrown out, because I feel like all we ever did was try to get on Dr. Scott's nerves. Which, by the way, shout out to Dr. Marshall Scott. I got to get him on the podcast at some point.
I cannot imagine what that would be like.
He would never do it. Of course he would never do it. Why would he ever in a billion years be on a dumb show with a former student? But, whatever. I had no idea where to go with this. Do I want to talk about the songs you guys are on, for the record, or do we just want to goof around?
That's up to you, my guy.
You talk about your favorite cuts.
My favorite cuts? I gotta be honest. My favorite cut was, I think my favorite cut was the finished version of Drunk on You. Just because I didn't expect it to work out. I had recorded a few different versions of it myself. I had originally pitched it a few years ago to be a Mopai song. And our old bassist, shout out to Daniel Walker if he happens to be watching this. I know he's not. My old bassist said, "You will never make any money with that." And I was like, you are probably right, but I'm going to try anyways. And the problem was I wrote this jazz song and I don't have a good jazz voice. So like, it was in this weird range where it was too low and too high for me. So the only way for me to sing it was to sound like a jazz singer who was like a lounge singer who was past his prime, who was always talking about the good old days. And it's fine live, but it doesn't really work all that well in a studio. And my idea to try to fix it was to try to do more and more takes while I was drinking bourbon, and it didn't make it better. So
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah, I don't know what I was aiming for. So I knew for a fact whenever I was doing it, like I from the start wanted to have Radka do the guitar solo on it, because she's like everybody that I know was like a blues guitarist first, and I guess Radka was still like a blues guitarist first and then a jazz guitarist, but I knew how much experience she had. I mean, especially through, you went to freaking college for it.
I was gonna say she literally got a degree. Like,
Yeah.
Hasn't helped me out yet, but hopefully someday.
what
It's
degree?
been 2 years, but hopefully someday.
Well, I know people that have their doctorate in trumpet, so there are more useless degrees. Again, shout out to Dr. Scott. Thank you for watching the program.
Just
And,
keep assuming that he's actually watching.
by the way, I have no idea what key that solo's in because the song starts in B minor, but I think it's technically an A because that's kind of the root. So I don't know. I don't know how jazz solos work either.
You kind of just
really
look at the chords. Yeah.
Modulation.
And
Just
really, the
vibe it,
song
man.
was just like, from the beginning, the song was always just an excuse for me to do sing, sing, sing. Because I knew that I was going to write it and I was going to randomly break into the double time breakdown on the drums. And that's why it starts oddly slow and it's like, it doesn't really make sense because I was like, this is just an excuse for me to do swing jazz on drums, which I wanted to do from the start. No matter what, I always love, like, more than even blues or Wipeout or Whipping Post or anything else, I love doing swing jazz drums. Like it always sounds like that. But so I got Radka to do it, and then I was like, this is great. Time to record the piano part. And I recorded the piano part and was like, uh-oh. So I was like, well, I know somebody who can do this well. Why don't I call up Aaron Tagliaboschi, who is on multiple songs on the album? I don't know if you're aware of that. You are also on One Tall Coffee.
That's right. Yeah.
Ian Matthew Harper featuring Mo Pie, which that is the biggest piece of Daniel Walker move that I've ever pulled, is to just randomly have Ian Matthew Harper featuring Mo Pie.
What was that album, The Best of the Beatles?
Yes, the Pete Best. It's kind of like when you found out Pete Best was like one of the lead producers on Backbeat, and there's an entire subplot where they're like, they're gonna call him Pete Best in the Beatles. It's like, ease up, Pete. I'm glad that you have that level of self-confidence. And then finally, I was going to get a vocal track together, and originally I was going to do like a duet with myself and a female vocalist, and then I was like, I don't want that. I know for a fact that I want Ken, because I was listening back to the Blues Boys recordings that we did in Kansas City, and I was like, why would I? No, I'm only going to go with the surefire thing, and I know that Ken, no matter what, is going to he'll do it at 3 a.m, but he'll get the vocal take that I want. And he absolutely did, which I guess I again have no way to lead this. I don't know if I ask you guys like, oh, what went into recording this bit for my song and keep stroking my ego or whatever I want to do. But I don't know. Aaron, I appreciate that you sent me roughly 20 trillion tracks. I think it was 8 different takes for it, which was piano, MIDI. There was a sax, I think it was a MIDI sax solo, which you told me not to put. You specifically instructed me, no matter what, don't put it loud in the mix. And I was like, can't do it. Has to be blasted to the max. And I think it worked out better. I really liked how it sounded, especially at the end, because I had a plan whenever I wrote the song that it was gonna start out lounge, go to swing jazz, and I wanted to end on I didn't have a way to explain it other than whenever Sinatra would get to the end of his songs and they weren't neat at all, it was just crash, bang, how he goes garbage can. And I wanted that for the first 2 measures because I didn't feel like writing a 4th verse. And worked out well. I really like how it turned out. Also on the album is One Tall Coffee, which I did with Aaron Tagliaboschi back in the Mo Pie days. Aaron, have you seen the movie Respect?
I should, but no.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's a music biopic, so anything I would say is it's for every music biopic. they have Rick Hall is not like a main character, but he is a character in the movie, and they actually shot it in Fame. Like, it was weird that they shot the exact scene, and I was like, why did they need to get this picture perfect? Because nobody was going to be taken out of the moment for being like, actually. But we recorded one Tall Coffee back down there. Yeah. No. Everybody has to be a schmuck about those things. That's why when I heard about Get Back, I thought it was going to be a straight up movie about the Beatles and not just to basically let it be reshot. And I was getting so ready to just complain about the whole thing, but we recorded it in Fame. And Aaron, do you remember anything from those sessions?
A little.
I don't even know if there's much of that I want to get into talking about, because I feel like I've been tiptoeing around a lawsuit at some point.
Shout out to John Gifford III, everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to John Gifford III.
Yeah.
John is awesome.
John is awesome. Thank you for watching the show, John. We appreciate you.
I miss you, John.
John Gifford
I love
III
those shout outs.
Yeah, of course. Well, I have nothing but nice things to say about John Gifford III, because he absolutely did not need to put up with me having a little Brian Wilson moment when we were recording the Mopai tracks, which, by the way, Mopai has an EP on Spotify and Apple Music, in case you're interested.
I still think those recordings sound good.
I do too.
They sound great. And
the problem is they sound great in spite of us and not because of us.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, well, there are still points that I listen to it, and I don't want to say which instrument it is because I don't want to get on to anyone in particular, especially because I've heard my own playing. But there's a specific 6-stringed instrument that constantly, whenever it goes to do solos, they suffer from. Is Robbie Krieger? Is he the guitarist from The Doors? Yeah. Okay. It's Robbie Krieger syndrome, where the solo starts good and it ends good, but nothing in the middle is anywhere remotely close to like correct for the song. And it worked. And I still have fond memories of those recordings, but I'm like, that one's fine staying in the past. Also, as long as we throw out that version of Walking on Eggshells, which is fine with me.
So what you're saying is Mopai is going to go on tour again?
Yes. Mopai is going back on tour.
Announcing exclusively for the first time for these listeners. The major will be later.
Absolutely. Mopai is going on a world tour exclusively in Southern Kentucky, Northern Tennessee.
Ian, I'm telling you, we
Kentucky
Blues Boys and Mopai together double down.
Did I ever tell you about whenever I was in a Mopai super group? I did a series of gigs with super deserves to be in quotations. Well, one of the gigs went so well that I got a full ride scholarship from a college, and that's real. I played a series of gigs in Mississippi following the Pine Top Perkins workshop one year with Joe Tellman and Jesse Black and Adam Miller, which was I love Adam, but that was like eventually he was like, hey guys, I'm not gonna be able to play the next thing because I'm gonna go on some dude's tour. And some dude to him was John Fogerty. He was playing trombone with John Fogerty's band, and I was like, get out of here. What are you doing wasting your time with us? Go where you're gonna make
before
money.
I beg you to stay.
Yeah. But we played a series of gigs as Joe Pie. That was our super group name, because we billed ourselves as a super group of Mopai, the Joe Tellman band before this Pine Box existed, the Jesse Black band, which was when he did his one album that like got a good amount of steam. That was around that time, and the John Fogerty band, which we used to bill, which is technically not. It's not a lie. it's just not entirely honest. I mean, it was in fact a member of John Fogerty's band. It's kind of like how I had to do a gig once with the bassist from Bill Haley and the Comets. It was the bassist from Bill Haley and the Comets in the 70s, but still the bassist from Bill Haley and the Comets nevertheless. What's Bill Haley up to nowadays?
I thought you were gonna talk about that cover of 16 Tons that we did.
That cover of 16 Tons that I can't find anywhere now. We won some stupid dumb award because musicians love nothing more than giving themselves useless awards. And that's coming from a Jefferson Award winning Kentucky Colonel.
We didn't just win an award. We won a chance to headline the opening of the Ernie Ford Williams section of that museum.
What?
Which you guys turned down in advance because it was the same day as my wedding.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh,
I
worth it.
Now I was going to do it anyways, but I have no memory of that.
Yeah, that was the prize. Was that the prize wasn't saying that Ernie Ford Williams' daughter liked our tune, which she did. But the prize was playing at the opening of the Ernie Ford Williams section of, I think, the Country Music Hall of Fame or something like that.
I have fond memories of that place, and I would have loved to do that.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to go to a rehearsl.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Hey, Greg, I love you, and I'm probably going to tell the story of us breaking into the University of Tulsa again for the billionth time.
I'm so sad to miss it.
I know.
Well, we're gonna have to do this again sometime. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm always having to.
It's okay, Gregg Pagano. We love you.
Bye,
Love
friends.
you, Greg.
Bye.
It was nice. It was nice hearing you all.
It was nice hearing you and seeing your face. All right. Whatever you do,
Talk
don't
again.
walk into hotels in New York with Yoko. We love you. Bye.
Appreciate it.
What? It was 40 years ago.
That was not a ooh too soon laugh.
That's I'm gonna get beef with Yoko Ono as a result.
Picture
that's
of
good.
Yoko and John spooning.
Yeah. Any publicity is good publicity.
I need to remake that photo with Greg, with me naked spooning him with the Rolling Stone cover.
That
the
picture
one
was
you're
shot
talking
that picture was shot hours before John was shot.
Was that the last photograph that we had before he went out for the day and got by the lamest man in history?
He was surrounded by paparazzi, so it's not like the last photo, but it is the last studio photo. And the only reason I know this is because the lady who took it has a masterclass of photography on like that masterclass thing.
Yeah.
And she just like randomly tells that story. She was like, I took this photo of him. Also, he got shot like 3 hours later. That was weird.
Oh, and she's like, wow, that was a great timing for me to get that photo.
Imagine being able to gloss over John Lennon's assassination.
Whoops-a-daisel. Yeah, for sure.
Happened.
Oh shit.
Oh my
It's
God.
like the Beatles biopic literally just ending with like, on this day John Lennon was shot in the after credits, like.
Oh yeah, the what did they do next text.
Exactly.
I think having the fake what did they do next text is my favorite gag in any media.
Oh,
I hate that. I was going to add that to the Blues Boys documentary before my computer just blew up, which I'm recording this on that same computer. So if it catches on fire or anything at any moment, this computer has been destroyed with malware and everything. And it's what I'm doing something. Don't yell at me. But sorry, that was my cat.
I could hear it.
Yeah,
Can you say hi?
Yeah, he can say hi. Come on. So this is Rocky. He is technically listed as a co-producer of the album.
Because he walked across your keyboard at one point and you're like, yeah, well.
He loves attention. So what are you guys all doing with like solo music stuff right now?
I'll let the legitimate musicians go first.
You go first, Aaron. Or Ken. You're the most legitimate of us all.
Yeah.
Aaron,
Bro, I'm a software engineer.
I'm an investment analyst.
No, I've been, so Google has these like bi-monthly, monthly-ish open mics. And we've been doing like online versions where all of us just make a YouTube video and then we like live stream it together on like the Google version of Zoom, Google Meet, which has been oodles of fun. And it's why suddenly I'm actually recording things again. Let's see. What did I do? Link to my channel in the show notes, Ian in the future.
Got it.
Because Ian's absolutely going to listen back to this before uploading.
I mean, I'm just going to ask you guys for your stuff and throw it in the description, which, as we know, throwing links in the description always means people will click them.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Is this thing plugged in? No? Okay.
No. It's fine. It's the thought that counts. Here, try playing it again.
Actually, hold on. I think I plugged it into the wrong thing.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Play it again.
It's working. Oh my God.
The Lydian.
I don't know if I told you guys, but there was a day at work where during my planning period, they were like, hey, we accidentally forgot to hire a substitute teacher for the day. So you are going to have to teach a music class. And all I did was go in, and the kids had they had a paper assignment that they were working on all day. Zoom was like, hey, we sent a gift. We're going to remove the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting. Thanks, Zoom, you schmucks. This is going to be a Google Meet family from now on. Radka, I love is that a Morty ornament that you have?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Morty ornament. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyways, when I had to substitute this class, literally all I did was go in and play Beatles songs on piano and had to sing along with children.
A lightsaber kid?
It's like that time that I had the Pine Top family reunion episode of the podcast, which was an audio only podcast. And we kept trying to go with visual gags of wearing funny hats because we were idiots.
Oh yeah.
Because we could. Yeah.
And if there's anything that I know, it's that I do not love a stupid gag.
Are you wearing funny hats again?
You got into some weird stuff in college, man.
No, don't take it off. I needed a picture.
Okay.
My AirPods fell
I
out.
was gonna say, do you still have the championship wrestling belt?
I do, but you know what's the unfortunate thing, Aaron? It is in my desk at work because I was using it with an assignment. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to go into detail about how any of that connects. So I don't know why, but before I started this, I started writing things down about songs from the album. Like I was going to explain it and be like, this is what this is. But I don't care. Like I really don't. And I don't think anybody else does. It's like anytime you go to like a coffee shop and there's that one guy playing guitar for 5 people in the audience and they're like, this song is about whenever, like, you know, you're at your lowest and you just want to be like, screw you, mom. I'm going to take my album picture on a couch outside. And, you know, and you're
Where
like,
are you?
I'm so sorry.
I have unabashedly, incorrect use of unabashedly, fallen back in love with pop punk recently.
You know,
I don't blame you.
I missed the My Chemical Romance train. I will fully admit that. I know, right? Just thousands of screams. It was just My Chemical Romance. Like I caught on to Green Day and you know, but like for whatever reason, and I've just gotten back to listening to it, and oh boy, so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.
It hits.
They're one of those bands that I do enjoy, but they kind of fell into the Arctic Monkeys train for me, where I listened back and I was like, oh, this was good the whole time. I only started listening to this to like impress a blonde girl. Like I never intended on actually liking My Chemical Romance or Arctic Monkeys. Although I feel like every guy that I know says that about the Arctic Monkeys. Nobody's ever like, hey man, I'm gonna throw on Do I Want to Know for the billionth time. Unless you're Hosier, then you do that. All
So you're
right.
telling me that every guy I've talked to that likes Arctic Monkeys has been lying to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. All right.
I don't have a bit to go with that, Radka. That is 1000% correct.
The only time they're not lying is when they say their favorite song is "You Look Good on the Dance Floor."
God,
There
I
you go.
want an excuse
That's
to
a
play that on
deep
drums.
cut. That's a
Oh,
deep
yeah.
enough cut. Like you actually have to dredge past the other stuff.
I want you to, in your spare time, look up I believe the band is called Baby Charles, has a kind of like, sort of like fusion jazz funk version of it. And it's beautiful. What is your favorite weird cover? Wait, why'd I ask this? I don't have an answer to it. Let me real quick figure out my answer would be for myself.
Yeah, I am gonna state an opinion that I have that I know you are not a fan of, and I feel like Aaron already doesn't like me because we just met during this, and I blue balls him on some Randy Newman. But,
I would have left you all standing like. So it's
I believe every single cover of a Beatles song is better than the actual Beatles song.
Okay, now that hurts.
Holy shit.
That hurts a lot, Ken, but I'm going to tell you somebody that I feel that way about, that I'm sure I will get the same reaction. I feel that way about Bruce Springsteen. I hate Bruce Springsteen's versions of Bruce Springsteen songs.
I concur completely.
As a born resident of New Jersey, I do need to beat you with a stop sign, but I understand it.
How dare you say that this guy singing his billionth song about a turnstile isn't boring?
Wait, I just looked up something, and apparently Avril Lavigne did a cover of Imagine.
Okay,
Ew.
not every Beatles.
That Avril Lavigne was worse for John Lennon's legacy than Mark David Chapman. I will go on record with saying that. And this is something that is recorded that will be on the internet forever of me. I can't wait for the day that I have a student at some point in the future that is like, hey, Mr. Harper, because you know what, man, my students found some of my songs last year.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had a student that was like, Mr. Harper, I listened to Headlights the other day. And I was like, what's Headlight? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a new record that's going to have multiple songs about being drunk. So multiple is 2, but still.
Ian, you need to do a full record of Public Domain. The wheels on the bus go.
They can cancel it out.
Exactly.
Greg and I, we will never be able to put it out. I mean, I hope we can someday, but we did a tribute to John Prine, which was a very long cover of My Old Kentucky Home. And was it good though? No. But did the people need to hear it? No. So I can't tell you why we did it, because we were recording it and we were listening to it back and I was like, Greg, this is atrocious. And he was like, yep. All right. Guess we're going to put it out now.
That's how I feel about every song I put out.
My favorite song that I've ever written has the lyric, but I'm not a pessimist, not an optimist, but I'm the realist, or I wouldn't be singing this. And I love that song more than I love my children, but I listen to it back and I'm like, if I could go back in time and punch high school Ian, I would.
I don't think that's because of the song though.
No.
Yeah.
I also realized when I was going to talk about the album that I was going to tell the story about breaking into UT with Gregg, but I've already done it. So I thought, instead I could tell a different story about breaking into a college to record one of the songs, which is Walking on Eggshells did the same thing at WKU back whenever I was a junior in high school. Because we did that was it one of the rehearsal spaces?
Yep. I will say the entirety of the one album that I do have on Spotify
yeah, we got you.
Is all 100% improvised at 1 o'clock in the morning on broken into the Fine Arts Center at WKU. Broken into is a strong word. I was walking up to it and I tried a door and I was like, oh darn, it's closed. And a guy comes up to behind me and goes, is it? Bam! Yanked it open and walked in. I'm like, oh, I guess it's not. And then that was it.
Really, it's a college though. I unfortunately did the same thing that I feel like everybody did, where you get to your senior year and you didn't realize how much, I won't say free stuff because they overcharged the daylights out of me, but how much stuff I actually had access to as a student.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I understand why they don't tell everyone, but so I had that version of Walking on Eggshells forever. I also recently found you and I did a piano and acoustic guitar version of Ballad of a Music Man that I'd love to put out at some point, but I got to see when I have another release, or if I might just throw that up on YouTube or something, because
just whenever.
Yeah. Is it weird for me to say that I listen to your I don't know what to refer to it as because I hate that I'm struggling to remember the album name, but I listen to the Twinkly one whenever I'm struggling to fall asleep. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but it's very
as long as you keep it on loop.
Yeah, of course. What was the band that did that put out the Just White Noise?
Oh God, I cannot remember. It wasn't white noise. It was
it was dead silence for 2 hours. Yeah.
We love that. Keep on keeping on.
How much money they made off that?
Oh, dude, so fucking much.
It's Spotify. They made tens of dollars.
Well, no, each track was 30 seconds. And you kept it on repeat while you were asleep. Because you needed at least 30 seconds of recording. And to Spotify's credit, they changed the rules, but they paid out the entire amount with very little in terms of people on Twitter yelling at them. And that's how they funded their I think that's how they funded their Madison Square Garden thing.
For Wolfpack, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Their version of Deantown at Madison Square Garden is one of the best things I've ever heard.
It's so good.
I don't know who sings lead on it. I guess it's not. I don't know if it's Corey Wong, but also the back pocket when he gets a crowd to do the 3-part harmony. Who is it?
That's Theo. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Theo Katzman, something like that.
Katzman, yeah. Which, oh my God, his solo stuff also. Oh my God.
Yeah. Have you guys caught the Corey Wong and Dirty Loops album that just came out?
My friend actually just went to California for his birthday to see them live. Yes.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
What is a weird track that you've been listening to on loop recently? I don't know if it's weird, but what is something out of the ordinary for you that you've been listening to a lot?
Loretta by Ginger Root.
Okay, weirder than mine.
Trust me, look it up later. It is. Have you guys, speaking of weird covers, I just remembered this for some strange reason. Have any of you guys heard the Devo version of I Can't Get No Satisfaction?
Yes.
I guess it's Satisfaction, but
I have.
So weird. I don't particularly enjoy Devo. That's just not my jams, but
I don't think Devo enjoys Devo.
It is it is definitely original. It is, and not like in a bad way, but like truly different from the source material.
Well, that's
Ian, you and I were just talking about the Cake cover of "I Will Survive" like last night.
God, yes, we
that
were.
one's great. It's amazing.
I love that the guitarist was like, yeah. I love that the guitarist was like, yeah, I'm gonna play 2 notes through this entire solo and will not change. Let's do 2 passes of it. Why not? Keep it going, baby girl.
Hell yeah. Now, do you remember we did a battle of the bands and suddenly War Pigs comes on, but we're absolutely dumbfounded because it wasn't War Pigs. It was the Cake version of War Pigs.
Cake version of War Pigs, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? Am I having an aneurysm?
It's peculiar.
Because it's like very faithful to the original in some ways, but also not. So like it very much sounds like War Pigs. It's not like it's unrecognizable.
Well, I mean, if you're going to cover a song, you either have to get it exactly like the original, or you have to make it so crazy that people will remember it for you and not the original band.
God, yes.
Which is part of why I, no offense to any of them, because they are the only people that will actually end up watching this, but it's part of why I stopped doing like any gigs with like local cover bands, is because I was like, if I do the same version of Hands to Yourself that I've been doing since back when I was with Mopai, I am going to commit Sudoku. I'm going to take my head and I'm going to introduce it to a ceiling fan because I don't want to listen to that song anymore.
No hammy, no lies.
I mean,
I was going to say, Ian, you and I have talked about that. I can't listen to Hotel California anymore for that exact reason.
That's, you know what's weird about Hotel California for me? I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you guys. I grew up on my dad, though. I mean, I only had CDs obviously whenever I was younger because we are all in that weird generation where I think we were the last one to listen to CDs. But we only had Hell Freezes Over. We didn't have any other Eagles records. So I only knew the acoustic sort of like Spanish guitar version, and I like it more than the original. Like I really like the Spanish guitar version. Just because I get the appeal of both.
Oh,
but
for sure.
What's the weirdest song that you cover? And I'm going to start with you, Radka.
Oh my God, you put me on the spotlight like
yes,
that.
I did. Because I have been skipping over you this whole time, and I'm definitely not just cutting back to you. So they're not like, Ian Harper hates Czechoslovakians.
Czechoslovakians don't even exist, bro. It's too complicated.
Ian Harper hates Czechians. There you go. Do you remember when we fought about the name of the country that you're from?
It's called Czech now. It's like please just bring back Czech. Don't fucking make Czechia. What kind of like kawaii bullshit is this? Oh fuck, I cursed. Oh shit.
God, I missed you, Radka.
It's fine. I did earlier and I just went right over it.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to edit the podcast here.
Do you think I'm gonna edit it either way? No, I don't care.
You know, once it starts, it just keeps rolling.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, brother.
I remember Serendipity used to do Smells Like Teen Spirit. And then it's just like at the end of the song, we're all like in a circle headbanging together. And it just, every time I look back at it, I'm like, it's kind of weird. But I remember there's this one time we used to cover Heartbreaker also, and we're just jamming on stage, and I get ready to play that like ripping solo at the end. I look and I see this old guy, and then I see this other guy just run up to him and tackle him on the ground. I just see a giant pool of blood while I'm playing this solo. And the band's like, keep playing. And I'm like, so I keep playing because I'm panicking. And then we look over, and then, yeah, thankfully no one died. But like, in a long rant, I can't play that song anymore live. It's just too traumatizing.
I get that. I once got I closed my eyes while I was playing a song, and I woke up. I opened my eyes to a cop interrogating me. But that sounds like one of those made up Ian stories, but that's a real one. It was because I I guess I'm gonna infringe on this podcast.
I know this story.
I'm not sure if I need to plead the fifth or if it matters anyways. A friend of mine ran me out a cable that I had forgotten. And when they did it, they accidentally like barely like dinged the side of my car, like barely at all. Nobody, and this was back whenever I drove my pickup truck that had a billion different like dents and scratches in it, so nobody was going to notice anything. And still, for some reason, I guess somebody in the parking lot called the police. So I'm singing "Ooh La La" by Faces, and no matter what, I always try to do it in drop D first of all because I know I'm the worst. I love double drop D, but I tried doing the song in D, and I always cracked my voice. And it was one of the few times that I did the chorus and I actually did it right. And I was like, yeah, awesome. And then I hear this police officer who's like, hey son, is that your Chevy Silverado outside? And he's talking to me while I'm singing. Like I'm like performing and people are sitting in chairs in front of the stage listening to me. And I'm like, how are you that socially inept? And I'm still playing and I'm like, yeah, man, I'll talk to you in just a second. He was like, all right, well, and he starts like talking to me and I'm like, you can't wait 1 minute for me to finish the only Rod Stewart song that I like enough to try to cover. Like, shoo. And he was like, I think somebody dented your car. And I'm like, man, that's crazy, but I have so many dents in it, it doesn't matter. And he's like, all right, well, we're probably gonna have to pull up like footage and look at it. And I was like, you know what, man, don't worry about it. It's nothing. And then I immediately texted her and I was like, you owe me so much. God, my stupid little life.
Have to press charges or something.
Who cares? I like, he was like, oh, do you want to press charges? And I'm like, look at the car. This car that is the same age as me. Do you think I care if somebody dinged it in a parking lot?
Whoever's car that was, they care about it more than I do. Yeah,
it's true. By the way, a weird answer to my own question for weirdest song that I cover. I always mess up the name of the actual musical. I believe it is After 5 Years or The Last 5 Years or 5 Years After. But there's a song called Nobody Needs to Know, which is referenced in Hamilton. And that's pretty much the only reason why anybody remembers it. And there's a song from it called Nobody Needs to Know, which The Last 5 Years is the name of it. I didn't just look it up on my phone or whatever. But my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend, Mackenzie, and I were watching the movie version of it. And I'd never heard of this musical before, which she did point out every time there's a musical version or there's a movie version of a musical, they get like one of the original Broadway singers or the best male Broadway singer that they can, and a woman. And so it was Jeremy Jordan and Anna Kendrick. And they did this song and I was listening to it and I was like, because it just had like a straight major chromatic walk down. So it was like A flat, G, G flat, F or whatever. Anyways, and it sounded really good. And I was like, this would work great in a bluegrass setting. So now I play it. I do like an open G bluegrass run of it whenever I play live. And it inexplicably works. And I have no idea why. Especially because I'm not Jeremy Jordan. I don't know if you've ever heard my version of Santa Fe, but it's bad.
Yeah, that's not your fault. That musical sucks.
That's Mackenzie will fight you, man. She loves Newsies. She was deeply disappointed when she started dating somebody from New York, and I didn't talk like this, mister. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I just remembered another song that I cover. Sometimes I still cover Monday Blues by the one and great only Mr. Sean Carney from Ohio.
I love Sean Carney.
I know. I'm still bumpy quit music.
You know what? I think this world is not good enough for Sean Carney, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah, him and his like action figures and stuff.
Aaron, I don't know if I need to ask you yours because you have too many answers. The first song I ever heard you play was a ukulele cover of Hey Ya.
It's true. I'm trying to. Okay, so I can't actually hear what this is doing. I think this should actually like sound now.
It's on like a whirly setting. Yeah.
That should be a slightly better whirly setting. So I think my favorite weird cover is I do a stride cover of Freak, or I'm a Freak, whatever it is, by Radiohead. And
you want to give us a sample?
I was like, please,
okay.
I want to hear this.
So I can't hear what I'm doing. I'm going to guess. This is fun.
Okay.
When you were here before me, I couldn't look you in the eye. You float like a feather. Am I in the right key?
Yeah, you're good. You're
Yeah.
It makes me cry. Let's do a piano. You look like an angel in a beautiful world. You're so special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. Creep, Jesus Christ. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Oh, I was like, is he gonna shoot for the falsetto?
Oh, I can. He's running out again. She's running, run, run,
I love y'all jazz musicians because you'll just do whatever you feel like, and it works.
Oh, I adored every second of that.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, Haley Reinhart and Postmodern Jukebox have quit playing music?
So, fun fact, you know the piano player for Postmodern Jukebox, the guy who actually does all of the arrangement and stuff, he put out a book called Ragtimify, which I read many, many years ago. I was already on the path before I read it, but it is very, very good if you want to learn how to do kind of stride arrangements. Yeah, I'm actually what is that tune? Oh, that's right. That's why I was thinking about My Chemical Romance. I found out that I Don't Love You is essentially a Sinatra tune in disguise. I can't. Okay. Can somebody hum like the chorus?
Oh, when you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I can't hear it, but yeah. It's essentially a Sinatra tune in disguise. Shh.
You can't hear it?
I can't hear the piano at all.
Oh, I got you, Kim. Oops.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to your eardrums.
That entire time I was singing, I can't hear the piano at all.
You have a lot better pitch than I do. I mean, I will play songs where I'm listening to the music and still be off key.
I did that song 3 nights a week for years.
Fair enough.
That's true. Along with your version of Buy You a Drink.
Oh yeah. I'ma buy you a drink. Then I'ma take you home with me. Well, let's see. Yeah. Home with me. Money in the bank.
Warning, listening to Aaron Tagliaboschi will get you pregnant.
Right. All right. Speaking of which, I have to go put my 2 toddlers to bed.
Well,
Bye,
knock yourself
friends.
out. Thank you again for doing this, Aaron. I love you. Oh, thank you guys for doing this.
Yeah, I actually gotta get going in a second too. But if you're gonna do your outro,
I appreciate it. Hey, Radka, thank you for agreeing to do this dumb, silly thing. We got to do another duet sometime where I can be inexplicably mean to you for no reason.
Oh, yes, please.
When you visit in Chicago, sit in with my band or wherever.
I mean, I
When
absolutely
are we going
will.
to Chicago?
Yeah, well, that's where Blues Boys album number 2 is going to be, which is where I'll transition to, I guess, you and I just talking about Blues Boys before I hit the brakes on this. This is going to be an hour-long recording, so it'll be a long episode of the podcast, but the podcast, this is dumb. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I was going to say, my episode had to be split into 2, man. You and I have a tendency.
We do. We're kind of idiots. Well, Radka, I'm going to play your favorite song on the way out.
Oh, Ian, give me a key.
I'll take my AirPods out.
Of a millionaire. Money, I do not care. I'm spitting all over myself.
I can see that. I can see the little spit chunks.
Do anything for you? All right. This is silly. I'm covered in spit now.
Well, on that note, I'll see you.
Thank you, Radka Kasperkova.
Let's do this
Good to see you.
Let's do it again.
Ciao.
Ciao. Radka Kasper. Oh, I forgot she doesn't have a last name anymore.
Oh, is it just Radka?
That's what she's releasing music as, and that's all that I tagged her with on the album because to be fair, I understand why Kasperkova might, you always want to simplify your name or your artist name so you reach the most people. That's why I decided to go with Kentucky Colonel Ian Matthew Harper.
Yeah, I was gonna say I went with Southpaw Sounds
Southpaw
for all of my
Sounds.
Professional stuff. Yeah,
Because
I'm the only left-handed person who makes music in the entire world. That's my.
You are to me. I remember the first time that you showed me that, I was like, Southpaw Sounds, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, he's from New Mexico, Ian, you dumb idiot, you dumb skank.
Speaking of being the only left-handed person that makes music, should we talk about the album that you and I released with another left-handed person who makes music?
I can't make that joke. So one of the few times that I actually stopped myself from making an inappropriate joke. So Ken.
Well, Ian, I do need to tell you that I'm saying the new album by the Blues Boys called 4140 McGee is coming out on Friday, December 3rd.
Wait, did you say that the Blues Boys have a new album called 4140 McGee? That son of a... God, I always screw it up. Just cut it. We're going to do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, that's a dated reference.
Oh, I love that. I still watch that video.
Let me look up for the actual release dates. Well, we do have one single already out. That we do. And I have to be honest, I don't know if I should say this on here. It turned out much better than I thought it was going to be because I remembered.
I think we've all said this very, very publicly around each other. It very much is not something that we were like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. We listened to it later and went, oh crap, this actually turned out good.
I think everyone that I know at this point knows that we had no intentions of making anything musically sound. We just screwed around in Kansas City. We were like, well, we're gonna go record an album, but just everybody bring your instruments to an Airbnb and we'll just be goofy. And it should not have worked. Like, I went there and I had songs that I had no intention of ever like Lovin' and Then Some is a great song, which by the way
for a while.
Which by the way will come out next Friday is when the single Lovin' and Then Some will come out.
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that the second single by the Blues Boys, Lovin' and Then Some, as written by Mr. Colonel Ian Matthew Harper, is coming out this Friday?
I don't know if I ever told you, but that was a song that I wrote a long time ago and I pitched to Mopai and we did it live a few times, and they hated it. They specifically, not Aaron really liked it, which I wish I would have talked about it whenever he was on, but they specifically hated it because of the breakdown. Like, they were like, why does this go from like, they're like, why does this go from like a Black Keys, shuffle to randomly going into a funk groove in a 1-3-4? It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, anything makes sense if you don't know what you're doing. It's kind of like Aaron told me that the walk down from One Tall Coffee was, as far as music theory goes, it's incorrect. And it is incorrect. Like, it should go to the C sharp instead of the D. And I was like, no, I'm just going to put the whole thing in major key, whether it's supposed to be in blues key or not. Or whatever. I say blues key. I don't know what any of the keys are for soloing.
I know what you mean, though. Like, it doesn't fit what would technically be the correct modal or the correct modal scale of anything. Yeah.
I, by the way, want you to know that I will 1000% end up doing another one of these with the Blues Boys.
Oh yeah, I was sitting here going like, we need to do this. We really need to.
It's, oh God.
It's just finding the time.
I was thinking about it because I was listening to Commercials of Infinity in the car today, and
you mean the first single as released by the Blues Boys this previous Friday, but depending on when this goes live?
Yeah, the first single released by the Blues Boys. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but it's not your grandpa's blues. The Blues Boys are a collective of young men and women who attended the Pinetop Perkins Masterclass workshop, sharing a love of blues. Sharing a love of blues, each member brings their own influences and style together to create original music that spans the entire spectrum. In the summer of 2021, 5 members of the Blues Boys collective, Alfonso, Ken Easton, Nelson Florick, Ian Matthew Harper, and Wade Parks, came together to record the album 4140 McGee, exploring themes such as protest, love, religion, suicide, and isolation. 4140 McGee is 45 minutes of psychedelia, southern rock, hard rock, and soul, all with a hint of blues. Self-recorded, produced, and released by the band, the album will be out on December 3rd, 2021. 2 singles are due ahead of the album. Lovin' and Then Some out November 19th, and Commercials of Infinity out November. What? They got our dates wrong on the press release.
That they copied and pasted your thing.
So that wasn't from me. That was the old one. Oh, Mike. No, that wasn't Mike Black. That was Dave Tellman. I still love you, Dave.
I love Dave.
I feel like that's probably more my screw up than Dave's. God, how did I get all the way through that? This is the first time I've seen that.
Oh my
Hey, what
God.
are the legal repercussions of us naming this album off of an Airbnb that we stayed at? Because we didn't ask them permission to record the album, which I don't think you have to.
Well, the other thing is we never specify that it's 4140. We never specify.
Oh, sorry. No, it's gang signs.
No, so we never specify that whether it's street, drive, and we never technically on the album we never specify where it was recorded.
No, we are referring to 4140 McGee Circle in Jamestown,
Alabama.
Alabama. There you go. We're covered.
This is gonna get us in more legal trouble.
I don't care, man.
But also, I mean, we also got one of the titles from a song from a guy that walked up and said, "You need to have a song called Tornado." And so we're like, screw it. There's a song called Tornado now.
He sure did just stumble into our house. And God bless you and Wade for handling that situation, because I was in the corner while I was playing drums, and I there's context
probably
to this.
Not fully clothed.
No, and we address in the documentary that like in the pictures I'm like mostly naked, and it's really gross. But like I'm a bigger guy, and unfortunately we had just with the way that we had the room set up, we had every fan in the room at everybody else, but there was like nothing that could aim back at the drums being in the corner without it being hit by a microphone. So
and the other thing is, even when we were recording, we couldn't have the fans on because they were too loud, and we had so many mics going.
It was literally the exact same scene from Hustle and Flow. You know what I'm talking about.
You would make a Hustle and Flow reference.
Yes, I would. Do you remember whenever Terry last name, made his own version of math called Tagliaboschi. It's based on the principle that 1 + 1 has to equal 1. This sounds like I'm making it up, Kenneth, but I want
know
you to
you're
look it up.
not.
Yeah, I know. It's God, celebrities are fun. They're all crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Ken, we are and though the end is near, I don't know if there's any other Blues Boys things to listen to. You can watch the documentary about us, which
which was watched by one
Scott Rosenbaum.
Thank you, Scott Rosenbaum. All I thought of was Seth Rosenbaum, who we have mutual friends with and is a very, very great blues guitar player.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe they might be related. That's his cousin.
We're gonna just put this out there.
We did. I love that we addressed that it is a parody of Sidemen Long Road to Glory, but is it more like we had way too much time on our hands and decided to screw around and pretend that we are more important than we are?
Well, so, and we have also addressed publicly that like we had a lot more ideas for that. It's 21 minutes long, which some people would say is 21 too long.
I would agree with that.
But some
as the
say
person
it's
who
not
edited
enough.
and I guess directed it, yes, it was absolutely 21 minutes too long.
I would say 23 minutes too long at that point, but I do have a couple people, myself included, who are asking for the uncircumcised cut of Blues Boys, A Long Road to Passable.
For all of your own good, no. That includes any watchers. That includes the people included in the documentary. That includes the tornado man that stumbled into our Airbnb. We will absolutely not. I will not do the uncensored version. Nelson Floric is currently calling me on Snapchat audio as we speak.
Of course he is.
Hey, I'm doing a Colonelcast thing.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Oh, are you now?
Yeah, we were actually just talking about the Blues Boys.
That we were. It's Ken.
You're done talking about it? Like you're not going to talk about it anymore?
No, we're currently talking.
We're in the middle of it.
We're currently talking about it.
Awesome. What are you talking about? Are you hyping it up? Hyping up the single?
Yes. We were talking about the documentary because we were just talking about how great Commercials of Infinity by the Blues Boys, which is out on all streaming platforms right now. We were talking about how great the record is and how good the follow-up single, Lovin' and Then Some, which is due out next Friday on all streaming services, is going to be.
I fucking love that one.
I love it too.
It's amazing.
You know, I too enjoy it.
Ken loves it so much.
Yes.
Ken's like, I love Lovin' and Then Some and Then Some.
My drummer from Kansas City. Ian, say hello to my friends.
Hello, friends.
Hi, Ian. We're having a serious conversation. Can we talk to you later?
What?
They got me on that one.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
I was certain that was going to be like somebody being, I don't know who was on the other side of that call, but I was certain that was going to be like a random woman being like, Nelson, I'm pregnant. Or something like that.
That's what it was like, we are having a a very serious conversation. Nelson's like, yikes.
Somebody managed to outbid us. I think that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah. Well, it's not a first time for you.
Well,
no, I was just talking about, I was thinking about.
He's calling me again and I will not answer it. I will answer it when I'm not recording because I love Nelson, but I'm constantly afraid that whenever I have more than one of us and I don't edit it ahead of time, we will ruin our careers. So to save myself from by the way, the Blues Boys one will not be live.
Oh, God,
at all.
No. God, no.
Oh, God.
That will be coming out soon.
Yes, it will. Ken, just a reminder, when is the Blues Boys album coming out?
Well, you see, Ian, the Blues Boys album titled 4140 McGee as recorded by the Blues Boys Collective, including myself, yourself, Nelson Florak, Wade Parks, and Alfonso, is coming out Friday, December 3rd. December 3rd.
Yes, that is
on
correct.
All streaming platforms.
On all streaming platforms. Not
and
your
YouTube,
grandpa's
because
blues.
I'm a schmuck.
You are a schmuck, but you're my schmuck, and I love you very much. All right, Ken, this is officially the longest episode of the podcast that I have ever done. Perfect. So I think I'm gonna cut it up and I'm gonna let you go. I love you, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I cannot wait to do it again because we are 1,000,000,000% going to do it again, and it will be a train wreck.
God, yes.
Ken, since you are the last person standing, are there any non-Blues Boys music plugs that you want to make?
Not at the moment. You know, I do have a band where I'm from in Albuquerque titled called Red Heather, local band that you can check out. And I'm sure Ian will plug it. You can check out my personal stuff at Southpaw Sounds or at Ken Easton, whichever one of those. Facebook, the Twitch, and not Twitch. I'm not that far yet.
Twitch.
In Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff.
Whatever you guys do not follow red_Heather_NM right now. Don't do it.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
You also better not look up Red Heather NM on Facebook and follow that page either.
Don't do it. If you do
it,
you will only hear good music and have all of your troubles go away forever.
And no one wants that. Also, do not listen to the Blues Boys' debut album, 4140 McGee, as out Friday, December 3rd on all streaming platforms and YouTube.
On all streaming platforms? You mean the album that is going to feature songs such as Commercials of Infinity, which is out now, and Lovin' and Then Some, which is coming out this Friday?
Yes, Ian. The album that will feature Commercials of Infinity out now and Loving and Then Some, as written by Ian Harper, out this Friday.
Which is coming out this Friday. Suck it, Get Back. That is as
I
good
love how we planned. We were like, what do we really want to compete with on the weekends? Alison Krauss, Robert Plant, Adele, and Get Back? Hell yeah, brother.
I put out an album on the same day as Adele.
Yeah, you did.
What the hell was I thinking? What on God's green earth did I think would happen? God, she's going to be pissed at me. The next album is like not going to have a number attached to it. It's going to be Adele. Ian done screwed up this time. You know? Adele, thank you for watching the show. And thank you for everybody else for watching.
Thank you, Adele.
And more importantly, Ken Easton, thank you for being such a beautiful man and always doing whatever dumb, silly things I have planned.
I live for your dumb silliness. Thank you for having me as always.
Thank you, Ken. I'm going to stop recording now.
You should.